At a fundraiser this past December put on by the New York Young Republicans in Manhattan, Donald Trump was there. It was a fundraiser for him. And Lauren Boebert was also there. She made her way to the Big Apple to go support Donald Trump, right? Small town girl from small town Colorado all the way up in NYC, partying it up. And according to the report from CNN, Lauren Boebert made a total ass of herself for the entire event. Now, I talked a little bit about this over at Fair and Balanced over the weekend. And of course, the big story out of it was that Lauren Boebert apparently got so drunk that they refused to serve her any more alcohol. But there's another part of the report that I want to talk about. It may not be as funny, but I actually kind of think it is. Because CNN also reported that Lauren Boebert drew the wrath of Donald Trump's security team because in her allegedly inebriated state that evening, she continued to hound him for selfies. So at one point, after Boebert had just been hounding Donald Trump all night, following him around, begging for photographs, the Secret Service had to step up and they were like, get out of here, leave him alone, or we're going to have some problems here. And I'm assuming, I would love to think that it was like Lauren Boebert being, no, come on, let's take a selfie here. Here we go, everybody, 1, 2, 3. All right, now, the humor of this situation aside, let's talk about what this tells us about the two-term Republican lawmaker that is in the fight of her life in her new district in Colorado. This tells us that she does not have the maturity to be a member of Congress. She does not have the self-control to be a member of Congress. Now, I'm not going to fault anybody for going to a party that most likely had an open bar. I know if I were there, probably would have gotten a little crazy too, right? It would have been fun. I only drink like once, twice a year. So yeah, I'm going to let it loose at that event. But I'm not a sitting member of Congress. Lauren Boebert is. You have to have a little bit more decorum. You have to know how to behave yourself. I mean, I'm only a couple years older than Lauren Boebert. I think 3 years older than her. She's in her late 30s. She is a grandmother, for God's sakes, in her late 30s. She should know how to behave herself, especially when you're in a situation dealing with Secret Service agents. Those aren't the kind of people you want to mess around with. You sure as hell don't want to piss them off. But this is a message, more than anything, to the voters in that 4th district in Colorado where Lauren Boebert moved to try to save her seat. This is what you get. You get an individual who cannot control herself, but most importantly, has not learned from any of her mistakes throughout her life. Now, I can't defend everything I was doing in my late teens and early 20s, okay? I was in college, I was free for the first time, I was partying every night. I get that. But again, I'm talking about 19, 20, and 21. And eventually, you outgrow those things. And yeah, you make mistakes during that time, and you learn from those mistakes and you don't repeat them again. Lauren Boebert, as we all know, has a history. Going back to when she was 17 years old. She made mistakes. She made repeated mistakes. She made all kinds of different new mistakes because of her complete lack of self-control. You can look up her arrest history and see this. But she didn't learn from any of those. So she carries that same 17-year-old high school girl mentality into her late 30s, but more importantly, into the House of Representatives. We have to demand better of our elected officials. But with Boebert, you don't get better. You get a person who does not learn from her mistakes, that has very serious self-control problems, and a complete lack of maturity. So voters in Colorado's 4th Congressional District, this is what you might be voting to send back to Washington, D.C. And at that point, all of the embarrassment that she repeatedly causes, because God knows she's not going to stop, all of that is on you if you vote to send her back. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.